Well, we all know it's not safe to drive impaired, but a new AAA study found that drivers who choose to use both alcohol and cannabis are among the most dangerous on the road, even when they use those substances separately. Katie LaSalle has more of those details.
AAA Insurance expert Skyler McKinley joins us now. And Skyler, what has this new survey uncovered?
Yeah, and I want to be clear, it's not AAA's job to tell you whether you should or shouldn't use cannabis or alcohol. Both are legal, both can be used safely, although you can never drive under the influence of either one. In our new survey, we've been doing it for years, we've been gauging how much folks who are willing to use alcohol might take other traffic risks. Cannabis is now, as legal as alcohol, so we've added that to our survey data. What we found is those who choose to use both alcohol and cannabis tend to be slightly riskier drivers than folks who just use alcohol or don't use any substance. That tracks with previous survey data. And it's important to note that this isn't about impairment. You can't ever drive safely if you're impaired. We just wanted to find out if you are more inclined to take traffic risks, if you're also the type of person who might, as is your right under Colorado law, choose to use cannabis or alcohol.
So let's talk specifics now. What are some of the risky behaviors that you're really talking about here?
Yeah, so here's an interesting one. We found that drivers who use both cannabis and alcohol were more prone to driving under the influence of alcohol than just folks who use alcohol. Similarly, 55% of these combined users report speeding compared to 35% of alcohol-only users. Red light running intentionally, 48% compared to alcohol-only 32%. Aggressive driving, 52% versus 28%. And texting while driving, 40% versus alcohol-only 21%. Now, this is not to say that choosing to use cannabis makes you a worse driver. All that our data suggests is that there's a correlation between people who use both cannabis and alcohol and riskier driving behavior. But look, that correlation could come from age, it could come from gender. It's really all our data says is that there is some alignment here. And this is early data when we look at the long tail of cannabis legalization, and we're going to keep looking at it.
And how does this all factor into insurance rates for AAA?
Yeah, when cannabis was legalized in Colorado nearly 10 years ago, I was deputy director of marijuana coordination for the state at the time. And everybody said, look, insurance rates are going to skyrocket because impaired driving is going to go up. We haven't seen that. Insurance rates have steadily risen over time, but you can't categorically say it's because of an increase in high drivers. Still, we do know that if you get high and then drive, you're twice as likely to get in a crash. Very similar numbers for alcohol. I think there is a perception among folks that you can drive safely under the influence of cannabis, even though everybody says you can never do it under alcohol. You can't drive safely under either substance. These cause crashes. Those crashes cause, of course, insurance rates to go up. So cheapest way to save money is for all of us to stay safe. I've said it before. We've got safety tips at AAA.com. And the bottom line, never drive impaired. And if you get impaired, don't drive.